So circle of control, circle of influence, and circle of concern. So circle of concern is like all the aspects in this world uh, about which we are continuously thinking. So we may not have control over those things. Okay, for example, like politics or somewhere some accident has happened or some war has happened. So we don't have any control over those things, and just we need to accept and pass on. And the next thing is circle of influence. That means which is in our hands. The control of those things is going to be in our hand. And if we decide, we can make certain changes to it. And the next thing is circle of control. That means the things which are in our direct control, which we can act upon them. So if we can take direct action of it, definitely we can bring that situation, or we can mold that instance to however we like about it. Okay. So continuation to this studies. So we have seen about circle of influence and concern. So whenever we focus our complete time and energy into the things which are completely in our control, then what happens? We will start thinking about it and we will take action, and even we will get positive results as well. So because of that, we will be in a positive mindset and we will be energetic and active throughout the day. And hence, what happens slowly, we will start understanding things, and we keep on changing one thing every day, so that more number of things we can bring under our control. And hence, our circle of influence also will keep on increasing. So, this is what we will call it as proactive focus, and our positive energy also will enlarge. Whereas what is reactive focus? Whenever we start thinking about the things which are not in our control, definitely we will not be able to take any action, and it will make our energy to come down. So our negative energy will keep on increasing and we will not be able to be that much happy and productive. So this is what we call it as reactive focus. Okay, it means lot of negative energy, so that even when we start thinking about the things which are in our control, okay, we will not be able to do because of lack of focus and lack of interest on it. And hence, even our circle of influence also will come down. That means the number of things that we take action also will slowly start to reduce. So, this is what the negative energy and increasing our circle of concern is all about. Okay. And now here author tells like what is the difference and what is circle of concern and circle of influence in detail. And another excellent way, how can we become more self-aware regarding our proactive nature is to look at where we focus our time and energy. Okay, so here author told like always we need to have that self-awareness. Only when we have that self-awareness, we can be more proactive. Okay, so in order to achieve this proactiveness, we have to keep checking multiple times in our day where we have our complete energy and what kind of thoughts we are having and where we are thinking about. Okay, that means whether we are thinking in circle of influence or whether we are thinking in circle of concern. Maybe once in every half an hour or 1 hour in a day, we can check about where our thoughts were in the last 1 hour. And if we think like, yes, we are moving away from our circle of influence, so slowly again we can start to come back to it. And we have to identify the things which will fall under circle of influence and circle of concern, so that we can understand where we have to spend our time and energy. So this is what I have given assignment yesterday, to note down the things which come under circle of concern and circle of influence, and then we can give some ranking to the task, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the count of the things we can check, and we can identify to which things we are giving more energy, so that we can understand whether we are in circle of influence or concern. And proactive people will always spend most of their time and energy in circle of influence. That means they will think only about the things which they can control directly. And they will work on the things they can do something about, and hence they will have positive energy and they will enlarge their circle of influence. Whereas what reactive people will do, they will focus on circle of concern. That means whenever you write the things and whenever you give some marks or ranking to it, and finally if you see the result, Okay, if you get more ranking in circle of concern, so it means that we are reactive person. Or if we get more points in circle of influence, then it means that we are proactive person. And yet some things also will be there, which we have to convert from concern to influence. And how reactive people will be, they will always focus on weakness of other people. Always they will have that envy, jealousy, okay, and always they will think about the circumstances which they can't control. And they will always blame their situations. They will make others to get accused, and they will use reactive language. Always they will be in victim mode. So victim mode in the sense, it has happened that way. Yes, I am destined to suffer that. And yes, definitely success is not mine. It happens like this only for me every time. So always they will be thinking in negative way, and they will create lots of negative energy. So they miss out on the circle of influence, and hence they will not be taking any action because already they are in negative mindset, and they have decided that yes, whatever I take up, definitely it's not possible for me. And hence they will not take any action, or even they won't do the things which are required to get succeed. Okay, and but when coming to the people who are in circle of concern, okay, we empower things to control us. That means uh, whatever is happening outside, okay, our mentality or our mindset will change accordingly. We will not have our own opinion on that. Okay, always we think like if that particular thing is happening, it will change our mood, and even they won't take the steps required for a positive change. But whereas what proactive people will do, whatever the situation can be around them, always they will stay in that positive energy, and they will think about the ways and means how can they overcome from it. So in case of proactive people, circle of influence will always be greater than circle of concern. Whereas for reactive people, the circle of concern will be always more than circle of influence. Now, so direct and indirect and no control. So these are three instances, or these are three situations that we may come across in our everyday life. So what is meant by direct? So problems involving in our own circle where we can take control. Okay, that means it depends entirely on our behavior and things. And what is about the indirect things? Those are the problems involving other people's behavior. And what is meant by no control? So the problems we can do nothing about it. For example, the past that has happened, or the situational realities that are in the present scenario. So we don't have any control about them. So it's waste of time to think about them. So whatever problems we are having in our life, whenever you encounter, first classify that into which category of problem it is falling. Whether it is a direct problem, that means whether we have direct control of it, or whether it is an indirect problem, that means indirectly, if we change some things, we may overcome some problems. So those we can call as indirect. Or whether they fall under the category which do not absolutely have any control. Okay, so first check in which category our problem will fall, so that we will know where to focus our time and energy. So we can focus our time and energy in the first place to direct problems, and after that to indirect. So there is no need to spend our time and energy on no control problems. Okay, so direct control problems, they can be solved by working on our habits. That means it is all about inner change from ourselves. So they are within our circle of influence. And it is all about the private victory. So in this book, habits 1 to 3. And indirect problems can be solved by changing the methods in which we are going to deal with the problem. So this is all about public victory, and this will be covered in habits 4 to 6. And no control problems, just we have to say a smile, and we have to accept and move on, but we should not think about it. So following this classification technique, we can boost our productivity in a day, and hence we can save a lot of time and energy, which we can put for good use. And next, so how can we expand our circle of influence? So here author tells us about story of an employee, Stephen. So they will have some rude boss, like he's like the complete sole authority, and never the opinions of the people will be accepted. So he is like, what to say, అంటే నేను చెప్తే చేయాలి అంతే. Okay, like authoritative boss. So this Stephen observes his nature, but everyone will be disappointed, and they will be in the circle of concern, thinking that they can't do anything to change behavior of boss. But what this Stephen will do, he will think about his inner moral values. That means he will think about his character ethic, and he decides that I have to do something for my boss to the best the level of my knowledge, so that he will be satisfied. And if I give some value to him, okay, so definitely he will be achieving some of his dreams and goals and vision, so that all of us can be happy in the office. So next time when he gets his time for presentation, uh, he would have done some groundwork, like understanding the vision and mission of the company and goals of his boss, and he will make some slides presentation with respect to those topics. So when boss listens to this, he feels so happy that yes, this guy is the right one, and he is thinking about my vision for the company. So in the next board meeting, when he authoritatively tells about his decisions on what he wants to do, and he tells everyone to follow, but Stephen was the only person where boss approaches and asks him like his for opinion. Yes, Stephen, you can let me know your opinion. How can we go about this? Then that day, Stephen feels more happy that whatever work he has done, yes, he was able to influence his boss. So first going into the shoes of other person, finding out what they want, and then acting accordingly with our innocence and our knowledge that we have. So this is one of the beautiful story that author tells, like we can change everything if we think like what other person wants and if we are going to give them. So here completely he stood on his own principles and values, and hence he was able to influence his boss as well. So now with his beliefs, he was able to increase his circle of influence, because there may be some 10 things in Stephen's circle of influence. Now the 11th thing also got added, that is nothing but his own boss. Okay, so definitely it is expanding our influence. So in that way, we can deal with each and everything wherever we can focus our control and bring everything under our circle of influence if we have a positive mindset. So now here, what is the moral of the story? Proactive people are always smart. They are value driven. They read about the reality and they will know what needs to be done. And there is another classification called as haves and the bees. Okay, B we have, right? So it's a plural form for B. Okay, so circle of concern is filled with haves, like excuses and blames on others. Like for example, if my husband is supporting me, I would have gone to diamond by now. If that client would have placed order, I would have completed my core. Okay, that means we are blaming on the client or we are blaming on our spouse that they didn't help me, so I didn't go diamond. So the client didn't place order, so I didn't complete my core. Okay, so this is what we call it as have. If it would have happened, we will call it so in that way. But whereas circle of influence is filled with B, that means it will focus on our character. Okay, so definitely I will be diamond. So these are the things I missed out. I will start adding these things today into my daily schedule, so that definitely I will be core this month. I can go diamond in 2 years. So this is all about B. So we will think about all the resources which we have and how can we best utilize them, so that our circle of influence will be filled only with these and we won't think about other things as well. And what is proactive approach? It is the change from inside out. Okay, so that is what our first chapter is about. So always we need to be different, we have to think different, and we have to affect that positive change in what's out there for us. That means whatever the outer situation can be, we will only believe in our character ethic and we will act from inside. We won't change basis other people's decisions or talks. But what is the reactive approach? We can call it like a person is having fickle mind or he is completely into personality ethic, and whatever other people are judging or telling about them, they will immediately change their mindset. They won't stick to their values and they won't stick to their beliefs. Okay, so this is called as reactive approach. So the best one here author tells is to be in a proactive approach. and to think about more bees rather than house. So even the word responsible is response plus able. So we must be able to respond to the situations rather than react. Only then we will be able to control our lives and we can powerfully influence our circumstances by working on the bees, and we will be on what we are. And so, how can we work on our circle of influence? How can we increase it? The first thing is we need to be a better listener. So, never we should be in a hurry to answer to people, or never we should listen to people to tell answer. First, 100% we have to listen to them completely. Either it can be our coach or it can be our client, and we have to be a better student. We have to surrender to our coach. So only then we will be able to give them that authority to change us, to mold us. Okay? And always allow your coaches to change you. Okay, only then we can be better students. So be accountable. So whatever you are going to commit to your coach, ensure to complete that. Only then it feels like you are a better student. So it's not about the result at the day. If our coach is suggesting some changes to us, so ensure to implement that and share its feedback on the same day or as per the deadline, so that we will be in that feedback loop as Murthy sir will be telling always. Okay, and always be a cooperative and dedicated employee to our organization. Okay, and here in our community you can be a cooperative and dedicated downline to your upline, and always be happy person. Okay, be happy for no reason. Okay, so we don't need any reasons to be happy, and don't let other people's mood or other people's words to disappoint you. Okay, always be happy for yourself and smile genuinely, love everyone. Okay, and no fake thing. Okay, because people can easily identify if we have a fake smile. Okay, and we'll go to the next topic. Okay. So the other end of the stick. So people may feel like, yes, I'm doing the same, I'm doing the same, but not every time my mood is going to be the same. Okay, or we would have taken some good decisions in the past, whereas coming to the result part, okay, we might have faced some failures in our life. Okay, so that time we may feel like even I'm following all these things from so many days, but none is happening in my life in a positive way, then why should I follow it? Okay. So here few things that we have to remember is like we can choose the actions that we want to take, but we cannot decide on the results. So always we need to live in harmony with our principles. Okay, definitely there would be times in our life where we have picked up few things, we would have made some decisions in our life and we have followed them, and maybe the results didn't turn up and we would have felt like this was the wrong decision that I have taken. But let it be, no problem. Okay, just we have to keep acknowledging them, and we have to analyze where we have gone wrong, what mistake we have done, and we have to note it down. We have to learn from it and ensure that that mistake doesn't happen again. And it's not about what others have done to us, it's all about if someone has done something to us, how did we respond to that situation? Okay? Our response to the mistakes, it will affect the quality of our next moment. For example, if we come across such failure situations and we still keep thinking negative about it, and if we are not going to learn from it or correct from it, the same sad mindset we will be carrying on. And who will be that next person you are talking to? Definitely, it will affect our conversation. Okay, and even in one of the calls, sir was telling like one client you have done. So he scolded you a lot that you didn't tell about supplements earlier on. He didn't like to place order. He didn't place, and he scolded in return to charge this much and this much for consultation. Then we'll be in that mood. And the next consultation that you are going to do. So he completely believed in you that you are going to help him or her to reverse their issues, and they would have come to you. So if we are carrying that negative mindset, we will not be able to give our 100%. Okay, we will not give justice to the commitment that we have made to them. So we have to admit and we have to correct mistakes so that they will not have that power to influence our next moment. Okay. And how can we make and keep commitments? Okay. So we talk about circle of influence and circle of concern, right? where does the heart for this circle of influence lies means in our ability to make the commitment, to give commitment and to keep up our commitments and promises. Okay, they are essence and clearest manifestation of our productivity and our growth. And it's about our self-respect as well. So whatever you commit to your coach or whatever promise you are going to give to your coach, so you have to abide by it and we have to follow it and we have to work for it. And self-awareness and conscience help us in this process. Okay, so we should be aware about how much we can do and then we have to commit, and whether it is right or wrong, whatever work we are doing, so we'll have that conscience. And we become conscious of areas of our weakness, our areas of improvement, and what talents we have to develop, and areas of life that we have to eliminate, and what things that we have to change. So all these things we have to do so that we will be able to keep up our commitment. So it's not only about making promises, we also need to set goals to achieve whatever commitment and promise we have given. And we have to be true to them. Nothing should be fake or genuine. It has to be genuine, okay? So, two ways to put ourselves in control of our life. The first thing is make promise and keep it. And second thing is set a goal and you have to work to achieve it. And what does this make us? So, making and keeping commitments, it will help us to develop our basic habits of effectiveness. And what is in our control? Our knowledge, our skill set, and our desires are in our control. So, whichever area you feel like you are strong, so work on those areas so that definitely it will influence our life in remaining two areas as well. So, altogether we can grow. So, focus always on your strengths. And here author tells us about the proactivity test that we have to do for next 30 days. So what all we have to do in these next 30 days? So we need to work only in our circle of influence. So only if we will be able to maintain that points, only then we can follow this. And we have to make small commitments to our coaches and we have to keep on. And be a light bearer, don't judge anyone. That means don't be in victim mode. Okay, see yourself whenever you face some struggle or problem, be like a third person and think about how you can come out from that problem. And don't judge anyone. Okay, so go into their shoes and understand why they are behaving in the way they are. And try to be a role model in each and everything for everyone, whatever you are going to do these 30 days. And always try to be a part of the solution and don't be like a problem. And don't argue with anyone for anything for the next 30 days. And whenever you do a mistake, admit your mistake so that your coach will get a chance to correct you and we can learn things from our coaches also. And work on the things you have control over. Okay, work on yourself and work only on the these part. Don't think about how. Okay, and choose response to the situation. Don't react to the situations and what it has to be